So hello and welcome to another weekly Spielworxx chat, and I hope that you are all well. And first and the most important thing, only 10 days till my haircut is done, so woohoo! Today we have 3 parts, so I'll respond to any questions that you may have, and I will talk about a couple of topics that may be interesting to you, and of course we will also have some great atmosphere over here. As a tradition, let me start with the Grand Trunk Journey by the wonderful Claude Serrois. We will do vessel module as I mentioned last week. And once this is done, I will do a live stream of a game. Hopefully Claude is participating. So I see him here in the chat. So Claude, you now have to play once a module is done. But this will take some time, but we will get it eventually done. And before I talk about the next topic, now as promised, the great atmosphere over here. So you see, I've done a lot to improve the technical standards of this chat, so we can now see beautiful and powerful chants as well. As you probably know, I'm doing the German edition of the whirligigs Pax Pamir, and I've also done a live stream of the game and a German language rules explanation video, and both of these are available at YouTube. And afterwards, quite a few people have mailed me that they would love to play as well. But however, I can't play around the clock. So maybe it is a good idea if we could start a list of people that would like to play. I will post some details in the news section of my website tomorrow, and maybe this is a complete dot, but maybe it is somewhat useful. So let's wait and see. The Tribune Kickstarter, done together with my friends of Indie Boats and Cards and Stronghold Games, this needs still a few days before it will be live, so please bear with us. The Cost, another Spielworxx game. This will be available for pre-order sometimes in June, so next month. I posted a few details on the game yesterday on my website, and I will follow up with a lot more info and a lot more details about gameplay, about the background of the game in the next few weeks. The Cost is, if you haven't heard about the game, is a serious game that covers the asbestos industry. And I got a question in advance from a viewer, Jonas. And first, thank you for that, Jonas. And Jonas would like to know the role of artwork in a board game, especially in a heavy game, and how I see it. And he mentioned brass as an example. The Tree Frog edition, if you have seen it, this is very plain and very functional, whereas the new Roxley version has very dominant and striking artwork. And Jonas said that his friends would have never touched the Tree Frog edition, but they have played with him the Roxley version several times. So Jonas would like to know where Spielworxx stands, and he mentions Gentes with the outstanding artwork on the cards, but a pretty plain game board. Do I personally prefer functionality over form, and how important is artwork for me? So first of all, of course, artwork is a very important part of a game. A game should look pleasant on the table, and at the same time it should make learning a game as easy as possible. And sometimes in a heavy Euro game with lots of information on the game table, This is very difficult to achieve, as you all know. And I'm very fortunate to have the always amazing Harald Lieske as artist, because he knows Spielworxx. And this is now very important. Spielworxx has a different graphics style than most other companies. And I'm definitely not saying that Spielworxx has better graphics than the other companies. This would be definitely untrue, but we do graphics differently. We are a very special and very small company, and therefore we do things differently. This includes topic, this includes mechanics, and of course it includes the artwork as well. And unfortunately, these days the individual components of a game, they are viewed alone, not together, as a game should be seen. So for example, the game board with all cards, with wooden pieces, etc., all set up. So getting back to Gentes, the board may be plain, but if you view it alone, but the table presence is still fine, in my opinion, if you see the whole game set up. Moreover, it allows for easy access of all game info and all the details easily assessed by the players. And by the way, Jonas, a few people have mentioned that the cards that you love, that they are too plain for them. So you see, everybody sees things differently. But with all the info that is on the Gentes cards, we could not have bold and busy graphics on them. And having said this, I'm not saying that we succeed all the time. So some of our games may look better than the others. We just try very hard to have a brand image. And talking about covers for another second, if you have a chance, please take a look at BGG at the new Ticket to Ride Amsterdam. And this game, of course, is from Days of Wonder, who surely have a pretty large art budget. But the cover is, in my opinion at least, very bad. It is not even a cliché of 17th century Amsterdam. You see the same smiling people in front of our houses that you've seen 100 times. So, are the Days of Wonder people stupid? Of course, not at all. They know what the consumer wants. We as game players, we are trained like Pavlov dogs how a cover should look like. So here all is fine. The Days of Wonder people have chosen a cover that probably a lot of people find pleasant. Although I think the title Amsterdam does not really stand out well enough. But otherwise it is what it is. And by the way, a recent great cover to my mind is Blue Skies. This is a new Rio Grande Games release. It is really outstanding. So Blue Skies, if you have a chance to look this up, in my opinion, it's great artwork on the cover. And a not so recent great cover is the 1989 release by Parker Brothers, Trump the Game. And here I'm not joking. The skyline in the back, the game title, huge and easy to read, plus the face of that asshole. So done. So really well done artwork by Parker Brothers. And I'm not sure, Jonas, if this was a good response to your question, because graphics and how you see it, how it is done, and the different styles, this is a topic for 60 minutes alone. But maybe we can touch on that, on some details on graphics in a future episode here. So hopefully you have some questions for me, but please let me scroll here. So let me see. Claude says he will play the vessel module of Grand Trunk Journey once it is done with pleasure. So excellent. Uli, Stephen, hi Stephen. Your Twitch broadcast always starts late for me for some reason. Okay, so I need to be better here in this regard. So maybe I'm just sitting here as probably better anyway and not talking for the first 60 seconds. Then we have this is Daniel from Moses with Street Frog. It is easier to learn the game with these graphics. With Roxley it is more fun to play. Yeah, I agree. The Roxley version, I think Roxley did a wonderful and top job with the whole presentation of the game. It's really outstanding. So I really like this. There's Daniel, even in German response. Guten Tag, your German is probably better than my English, Daniel. I hope all is well over there. Matt, hello Matt. Completely agree with Blue Skies cover. This is plain. You could say this is very plain, but the color choices is great, and especially getting back to graphics for a second. A cover or a game box, it should stand out. So in a game store that you at least are so interested what it is that you want to take it out and take a close look. And I think the Blue Skies from Rio Grande, this achieves it very much. Steven, plus the face of that asshole. What can I do? But Parker Brothers, you see. These are professionals. The game box is, in my opinion, it's wonderful, although it has that face on the top of it. But just looked at Blue Skies. It's gorgeous. I agree. Matt, it seems like the side of the box is just as important as the front cover, but it seems like this side is overlooked by a lot of publishers. Yes, I agree, and we are no difference here. So maybe as a tiny minor excuse from Spielworxx is that our games are hardly in stores. So we are looking for a great top presentation, but I think we should, so box top front presentation, and probably haven't thought enough about the sides. And maybe we need to change this. But I'm 100%. You are 100% right. Especially if you look at the shelves of some people who have their games upright in an upright position next to each other. You see some of the fonts are very bad. Some of the titles cannot be read from a meter apart. So I think there is a lot of improvement, but also you have to see that maybe apart from Days of Wonder, maybe apart from everybody at Asmodee or even mass market producers like Parker Brothers, most companies do not have a huge art budget, and we do not have a lot of art experts in the company. So these things are simply happening. We need to bring in more talented people, but it's very difficult to get talented people to small companies because they want to earn a decent living from what they are doing. And that's, again, I'm very fortunate having Harald here because he's well educated and he studied art. And another thing, all game players, all gamers, all players, everybody is an art expert. Everybody knows better how a game should look like. Even if we, and I'm certainly not an expert but an amateur, although of course I know better than anybody else so how a game should look like. No, but we need more talent in our industry. It's hard to do much with the site, yes, but as Daniel says, but of course we need to improve. So another question, hi, are you planning on reprinting any of your older games? For example, Colony. So first, personally, I'm never reprinting any of my games. So I made the promise that a Spielworxx game is only done once in a limited edition. So I would not do this. I know that Thomas Spitzer, so the author, designer of Colony, that he was in touch with Clay from Capstone Games, because Capstone had done Ruhrschifffahrt and Haspelknecht, but for some reasons this did not happen. So there is no new edition of Colony. But maybe if a publisher, if you are interested, you could ask a publisher if he is interested in a new edition of Colony. The rights are not with Spielworxx, they are with Thomas Spitzer, the author. And I would be very happy to see this, because my hometown is on the game board. So this would be another reason to play the game again. And there is my local Kevin. Hi. So he's as you may know, I'm living here in Billabü, in a very rural area, and he's my good local player. The only local player that loves to test games with me over here, because these are heavy games, as you know. So I'm very pleased that he's here and that he has to test all the stuff that I'm bringing out. And of course, there's another nice person. I think Zeus is from Berlin, but I may be wrong. So, are you having any other question regarding rights to the game? Have you noticed the delays and the resulting resentment of the Kickstarter campaign of Solarius Mission? Do you have any information about the Kickstarter campaign? No. But I'm very happy that you are bringing this up so that I can respond. So I licensed the game Solarius Mission, I think in 2016, to Flying Lemur. They did earlier my North American Railways. They did a great job, so I was very pleased with their second edition of the game in English language. So I was happy to give them Solarius Mission. And the Kickstarter campaign was done 2017, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. And the game was successfully funded, and the game is not out yet. So afterwards, at first, communications with Flying Lemur was well, and then it declined and it stopped. So I'm out of any information for the last 3 or 4 months. I tried to reach them in April, but without any response. And I can only fear that the worst is happening, that they are not able to release a game. But I hope for the very best. I would like to order. One of the designers has tried to reach the principals of Flying Lemur via Facebook without any response, and it's certainly a very, very bad thing. And technically, the license is not even the license has reverted back to me, so they do not even have the rights to print the game anymore. But of course, if they would say, well, we would like to do so, they can do so, because of course I would then be very happy that the game finally can be sent to Kickstarter backers. But yeah, well, and last time I was talking to them personally, they said that 50% of the production money has been already paid. I don't know if this is really true, so not a good thing for sure, but this is the only thing I know. You have to see, this is also hurting me. This is hurting the artist, because he would get paid from the second edition. This is hurting the two authors, so Mike and Ode. And yeah, well, from time to time it seems to happen, but I don't know. So Matt, I backed Solarius Mission, yeah, and I'm shocked with how the project has gone, and I never thought it would abandon a project. Yeah, so when I'm mentioning this, we have to be very careful here. I'm not saying that Flying Lemur has abandoned the project completely, but this is just my opinion here on May 12th of 2020. And normally I would expect that somebody would at least getting back to me and would write 3 lines email and telling me, well, this is going to happen and I have my problems and therefore there is a delay. And I would expect that on the Kickstarter page there is some news, but yeah. Too bad. Leave it. Let's leave it at this. License. Another question. Thanks. How does the license situation with the Kickstarter campaign differ from Throne of Allegoria? Yeah, well, this is completely different. So first of all, Game Brewer always did a good job here with everything. It was just that we had different opinions. So Game Brewer and Spielworxx had different opinions, and Spielworxx here I'm including the 2 authors, so Robin and Steve, and we had different opinions on how the next edition should be in terms of graphics. So again, graphics here as a topic, and also in terms of gameplay. And yeah, in the end we saw that it is best to part before the game is produced, the second edition, before anything is happening. And definitely Game Brewer put a lot of effort in their Kickstarter edition that they then cancelled, and I wish them all the best. It was just for this project that Game Brewer and Spielworxx was not a good combination, and this is how it is in real life, in business life, in private life. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it does not work out, but here all is well, I think. Daniel, yeah, I'm lucky. He's saying I'm lucky to have the original Spielworxx edition of Solarius. Yes, yeah, it's a sad story. Yeah, but please steal it from Daniel. Please go for it, Matt. So I have no objections there. So, do you have any other questions here, or do you need more atmosphere first? So I think we are ready for some more atmosphere here. Okay, so and another good friend, Andre is there. So I'm still on late shift duty in the office, so sadly I can't watch the stream now, but I will catch up later on YouTube. Keep up the good work and the streams. Thank you so much, and you should work less, but I know how it is these days. If you have work, if you can work, do what you need to do. This is important in these at least interesting times. And yes, stay safe, stay healthy, Andre. And as he says, nur der IEC, that's also very important. Yeah. So getting back to questions, do you have anything that I should like to touch upon today, or do we leave it here for now? So I think we are done for today. So first of all, thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. And if you would like to, like Jonas did, if you would like to bring up a topic in advance, or if you would like to ask a specific question in advance, please drop me a mail at uli@spielworxx.de. And finally, I have a question to you for your consideration. So, would you like to see me streaming a game via Vessel? So I could do this here on Twitch via a live stream, and of course I could record it for YouTube later. So if you would like to see this, please drop me also a mail. It could be a Spielworxx game, but it could be also any game where there is a Vessel module available, and I'm gladly doing this with some of you, and we will probably have a great time. So please drop me a mail, and till next week, Bleibt gesund, I'm saying. Okay? And I see there a final question. Cool, Udi, das Boot... this is a solitaire game which takes hundreds of hours to play. I can start now, and I will be still playing next week when it's stream time. So probably not das Boot. So, see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.